What's up? This is Chase. Woke up this morning and was getting ready for work. Hopped in the shower and I had an epiphany, what you might call a shower thought. I was thinking about the concept of good and evil and how our society kind of thinks about and defines good and evil, and the false dichotomy of really what good and evil means to some people. So our society tends to think that what's good is good for me, and the evil is the other. As someone else trying to do what's good for them comes off evil if it's not what we see as good for us. And I think that stems from a deep-seated ancient belief that stems from really the Old Testament of the Bible. The Old Testament of the Bible is all about God's chosen people and how God's chosen people had to fight their enemies and wander through the desert, try to find their promised land, because God promised that they were supposed to be the winners. They were supposed to be the good guys, and anybody who was in their way was the bad guys. False, worshiping false idols. So that's that origin of this whole right and wrong, like we're right, you're wrong type of mindset, that still remnants of that ancient mindset are still present in today's society. And I think that the danger of that mindset is that's where the worst evil comes from, is when you believe you're right, or your authority, someone who tells you that they're right, your religious authority or your structured establishment authority is telling someone to do something. That's where these studies have found that people will do the worst evil things when someone of authority tells them to, like Hitler's soldiers. They killed so many people because and their answer was, well, I had to do it, I was told to do it. Same thing with the scientific study where they take normal people and sit them down at a machine and tell them to shock someone in another room, and they'll just do it. They'll question it, but they'll do it. They won't stop. They'll go all the way to dangerously high voltage shocking of people they don't know because someone in a white coat told them to. And it's the same thing with religious authority. If a religious authority is telling you that our God is the God and all other gods are false gods, and we have the right to the earth, and we have the right to kill for it. If you're going to justify killing in the name of your God, that's the danger of the false dichotomy of good and evil. So the alternative is a new dichotomy of not good or evil, right or wrong, but really just using your own moral compass. I think everybody has an innate moral compass, a spiritual, moral understanding of what is right and wrong, and we're all trying to do the best we can. And we understand now that the people who have been wronged in the past are the ones that are really going to be more likely to be violent or hateful. It's the people who had a violent, hateful childhood or some really bad situation are going to be the most violent, hateful people. And all you can do is try to educate, love, and inspire those people to change. The more hateful you act towards them, the more hateful they become, because hate begets hate and love begets love. It creates more of what we try to create. And so I think that's part of this new spiritual idea that we are the creators of the universe, and we get to change the world in ways that we might not have thought imaginable before, simply through our intentions and our actions, just trying to spread more of what we want to see in the world in ourselves. And we only have that control over ourselves. A lot of danger comes in trying to control other people. Never turns out right. I don't think it ever really turns out right. If you're trying to see change in the world, it's probably time to focus inward and seek that change in yourself, and take a good hard look at yourself and see if that's not really where the change needs to happen. And also, this new dichotomy of spiritual versus physical. I mean, there is a certain dualism that we live in. We live in a world of physical things and non-physical things. And these non-physical things are emotions and belief systems, laws, rules, societal norms, things that we believe we should do. Those are all of the spiritual realm. And I think people don't get that. I think some people equate spiritual with magical, because for the longest time, religions of the world have focused on, look at the magic that my spiritual leader can do. Look at the magic, unbelievable things. And it's, this must be true because that is unbelievable. Well, that's kind of weird. It must be true because it's unbelievable. Maybe it's untrue since it's so unbelievable. I mean, if we use our logic and reasoning skills to filter through things that seem unbelievable, then we'll probably be able to figure out that, they're unbelievable because they're untrue. God is not this being unseen because he's in the clouds, and he hasn't chosen a certain people. Everyone who was born on earth was chosen to live. If you're alive, then you're alive for a reason. And we're all part of, the human race. And so that's another part of this new spirituality. We're trying to encompass the world in a spirituality that works for everyone. A world that works for everyone, right? Wouldn't it be a great world if we all could just get along? Sounds cheesy, corny, but absolutely necessary. And if it sounds easy, then why can't it be? I mean, really all it takes is a new thought. It just takes a different perspective, and it takes a dropping of old perspectives, and it's hard, very hard, to change your mind about something that's been entrenched in your mind for years and years and years, and people have told you, you better believe this or you're going to hell. That's pretty hardcore. Okay, you make up a scary place and say that you're gonna go to hell if you don't believe what I'm telling you. That's the most evil thing you could possibly do. You kidding me? Talk about you're being evil if you don't believe what I say. Forcing someone through fear to believe in your belief system, that's true evil. We could get along way easily if we understand that we're all spiritual beings experiencing the world in both a physical and a spiritual way, and that spirituality is not magic. It's not something that's unbelievable. It's the simple, everyday thought processes that we have. It's our way that we communicate. It's the way that we use words and language and body language to convey what we need to say, and the way we interact. So that's my morning message. Something to think about. New Age Wolf, over and out.